Chapter 32. On my 11th birthday, my dad and I went over to Bob and Nancy's house where they served us my favorite foods and had cake and presents for me. Nearly every year that's what we did. I had to admit that they were generous. I was delighted when I opened a box with the cowboy boots that I had been wanting since I'd outgrown the ones I had. I put them on and happily stomped around in them. Nancy got her camera and was taking pictures of me opening my gifts. They also gave me a pair of jeans and a t-shirt with ZZ Top on it. They were so good to buy me things that I wanted rather than things I didn't want, and I gave them big points for that. I was even more surprised when I opened my dad's gift to me and found a shotgun. "What does this mean?" I asked as I ran my hands down the barrel and looked it over. I liked the gun competitions when I was a teenager, and I thought the two of us might get into that. "We'll shoot skeet. You'd like that, right?" he answered. I nodded my head and smiled at him. I was so happy at how my birthday had turned out that I gave everyone a hug, a first for me. There was a lot less to do in the winter months on the ranch than in the summer, and so my dad had some free time. One of the locals had set up on his ranch where he made money by charging people to shoot skeet at his place. He had a guy that worked the traps and launched the clay discs. The art of skeet shooting was to simulate the action of bird hunting. One round was 25 discs. It took me until my 5th turn to agree to put my cheek against the barrel. Once I did that, I started hitting the targets. I hit all the last 5 targets in the round. Dad started hitting them from the 3rd shot and only missed hitting 1 or 2 of them after that. Just about every Saturday morning we'd go shoot a round or 2 of skeet. As my dad shut off the truck at the skeet range, I remarked, "If I hit all 25 targets, I get to drive on the road, Dad. How about it?" I've been driving for years on back roads and on our ranch, and I didn't see why I couldn't. "Yeah, right. And it would be my luck that you'd get stopped by the cops for a burnout turn signal or for speeding, and then they'd throw me in jail," he snorted at me. "It would be worth it though, right?" He rolled his eyes at me. "Get your gun and let's go." I got out of the truck and we were set up to shoot. "So if I hit all 25, what do I get?" "I really like those fuzzy fleece lined jean jackets. I mean, it's a sad 2nd place prize, but I'd take it." I had yet to hit 25 targets in a row. "Yeah, that's a sad 2nd place prize, all right," he said sarcastically. The guy running the trap chuckled. "If you hit 25 in a row, I'll buy you the jacket," he remarked in jest. I smiled a big smile. I knew he was only bullshitting. Daddy had taught me how to spot those kinds of people. "You know you just got suckered, right?" my dad asked him. "She ain't going to shoot no 25 in a row," he laughed. His remark did not dull my sparkle. I kept smiling even though I hated when someone told me that I couldn't do something. Dad shot first and missed the first target. I laughed at him and we all kidded around, but with every shot, I hit the target. "Double or nothing," I told the guy on the 20th hit. "I get the jacket and I get to drive your truck. Nice truck, by the way." No kid's going to drive my truck. You're like 8 years old," he said, shaking his head and lining up the target for my dad, who just chuckled. He shot every target after his first shot had missed. Yeah, I was going to ignore the age 8 remark. I might have looked 8, but I was keen on the way the world worked. It made it even more impressive if I were younger and made that good of a shot. On my 24th turn, the guy was plenty worried and talking shit about how I was going to miss. He pulled the trap and I watched my shot blow the target apart. "Yes!" I exclaimed, pumping my arm in the air. "Don't get careless," my dad warned me. "Keep both of your hands on that gun." I calmed down and put my right hand back on the gun. On my last shot, I blew the target to bits and smiled big at the guy. My dad had hit 24 targets in a row, and I had hit 25. Now the guy wasn't so happy, and he was trying to renege on buying me the jacket. Hell, I knew he wasn't planning on buying me anything. "Are you going to enter the competition?" he asked. I looked up at my dad. He agreed that we were. As we walked to the truck, he said, "You know he's not going to buy you that jacket, right?" "Yeah, I know bullshit when I hear it." When he walked to the driver's side, I stood confused at the passenger door. He still opened the truck door for me like I was a little kid. Then he closed me in. I'd gotten used to it. "Dad," I called to him. "Didn't you want to drive home?" he asked back. Surprise and delight rushed through me, and I ran to the driver's door, which he opened for me, gave me the keys, and closed me in. I started it up as he got into the passenger seat. He gave me driving instructions all the way home as if I'd never driven on the road before. I dealt with it because he had no idea about half the times I'd driven on the road without a license and without his permission. The shooting competition was the first weekend in March. It was divided into 2 age groups, 17 and under and 18 and older. There were 15 of us that had registered. 8 of us were 17 and under. One teenager who looked to be about 16 shot 21 of the targets, but had shouldered his shotgun before he saw the target. So even though he hit the target, he couldn't count that shot. Every time it was my turn, I was locked, loaded, and fired, hitting every target. I was especially watching that I didn't shoulder my shotgun before I saw the target. I could hear the good comments and the smart-ass ones every time Dad and I took a shot. A good many of the men hit 18 to 20 of the discs. I hit all 25, and so did my dad. We were especially proud of myself because I was the only girl that was in the competition in the 17 and under group. I was hoping to get to drive home, but Daddy opened the passenger door instead. "Aw, Dad," I grumbled as I got in. "Pumpkin, I can't let you drive with all those people watching us." "I'd like to, but I can't. They all know you're not old enough to drive," he explained. He was right. I chattered about the competition as he drove. We discussed the guys that had competed against us and some of the great shots that we had made. I wasn't watching where he was driving, and so I was puzzled as we turned into the parking lot of the Tractor Supply store. Then I remembered that we needed some more dog food and a part for the tractor. "You're not sitting in the truck," he told me. "Come into the store with me." I growled. "Don't sass me." He was serious. I growled under my breath, but got out of the truck and followed him inside. I absolutely hated stores. He took a cart and loaded up a big bag of dried dog food for Yellow, and then we went to the parts counter and got the part for the tractor. I was ready to head back out. "Not so fast," he said as he caught my shoulder and steered me to another part of the store. He had his hand on my back, urging me forward. I was thinking of 10 other things that I would rather have been doing than that at the moment. Then my eyes saw the jackets. "Are you buying me the jacket I want?" I asked, surprised, as I turned back towards him. "You know, I really shouldn't for as much as you argue with me." "You're the same way." "Pumpkin," he said in a warning voice. I knew he meant that I should shut up. I was just sassing him. He wasn't argumentative at all. That was all me, so I stopped. I tried on the smallest jacket, but it was still too big. My dad talked to the clerk, and they looked in a catalog. "You'll have to order the kid size for her," the guy informed me. "Kid size? I'm 11, I informed him. I felt big. I was 4'8" now. Daddy shushed me. Then he ordered the kid size for me. As he let me drive home, I remarked, "Dad, I'll be happy when that jacket gets here and fits me, but isn't it ironic that I'm kid-sized and I won that shooting competition for my age group?" "And you're driving my truck without a license." "Yeah, totally ironic. Mama never told me my life would be like this," he quipped sarcastically as he shook his head in exasperation. "Maybe you could behave more like an 11-year-old than a 2-year-old. I suppose that sometimes he made a good point. I slowed the truck to a stop at a stop sign and looked over at him. "Congratulations, Pop. You're a crazy old dad, but you sure can shoot a gun and play badass guitar. I really love you. Thank you for the jacket and letting me drive." And when we got home, I hugged him.